Hey guys, my name is Julia and I am the owner of Julia Noelle Weddings. On my channel, you'll get a plethora of wedding tips, tricks, advice, and anything else that you might need to plan your wedding. If you're new to my channel, you probably don't know too much about me. I am currently a wedding planner and day of coordinator located in Connecticut. My goal is to always help brides make their dream wedding happen on their budget. And trust me, it is possible. It's been an interesting road to get here, so I wanted to take just a little bit of time to walk through who I am and how I got here today. Growing up, my mom was always inspiring me to be creative, and I always would laugh at her because she always had a new project and she always had something new that she would do. She started me off with cross stitch when I was a little kid. I remember making a little ladybug cross stitch when I was probably like 7 maybe. And as I got older, she finally settled on jewelry making. I loved marketing and design growing up. I've always loved it. And so I kind of took on that role as her marketing manager. My favorite jewelry that she made was the Swarovski crystal. I can never say that word. Swarovski. My favorite jewelry that she would make was a Swarovski crystal handmade bracelets, and anything that really shined, anything that had like a sparkle, I was just encompassed by. So I had talked to my mom and I'm like, hey mom, like we can sell to brides, you know, we can market this product across Connecticut and sell handmade, customized jewelry to brides for their bridesmaids or for their own jewelry. And so that's what we did. So we traveled across Connecticut to all the bridal shows and we would share our jewelry. And that was the moment that I knew I loved the bridal industry. My favorite part was talking to the brides and hearing about their wedding plans and hearing about their vision, and then being able to match them to a piece of jewelry or a style of jewelry that suited them best. That was my favorite part. Eventually, I went off to school for marketing and my mom moved away, which meant that our mother-daughter bonding experiences became just a fun memory. Man, do I miss those days. My education led me to have a very successful career in marketing. Through my career, I've been able to manage large projects for big clients like Spectrum and Capital One. But I was still missing the creative outlet. I was still really missing talking to brides and being able to do something creative with my time. And then in 2017, I got engaged and it rekindled my love for weddings. This time I was able to look through the lens of a bride. My project management skills came in handy. I planned my wedding in what felt like a month. After I planned my wedding, I was left with this emptiness. I was kind of like, well, now what? I've planned this wedding. I have a 3-year-long engagement. My wedding wasn't supposed to be till 2020. Joke's on me. That's when I started to follow bridal groups and I started to really engross myself in the industry of weddings. I found myself giving advice to brides literally for fun. I would go on Facebook and I would see people's problems or questions and I would just hop on and answer them. And I loved that. I loved being able to support brides. I loved being able to help people using my own experiences and all of the research that I did and all of the planning that I put into my wedding. Somewhere along the way, it finally hit me. I can do this professionally. I can help other brides plan their weddings. And that's how we ended up here today. My passion for wedding planning doesn't stop there. Especially with the pandemic and myself being a COVID bride, I knew that brides needed my support now more than ever. Planning a wedding has never been harder. And that's why I wanted to give as much support to brides as I could, whether they lived in Connecticut or whether they lived across the country. I wanted to make sure that brides had the resources that they needed to plan their weddings. So that's when I launched my weekly video series where I am putting out new videos once a week to help brides plan their weddings. Not every bride has the resources to hire a full service planner. They might be stuck. They might not know how to navigate this pandemic. Not that anyone has, you know, a crystal ball, but having someone to support you is so crucial in these times where you can feel isolated and you can feel alone, especially when we're quarantining and we can't go out and see people. You know, this is the time that you're supposed to be excited about wedding planning, and unfortunately, these times are not that exciting for brides. So I knew that I needed to do something to add some light and to help brides plan their weddings despite a global pandemic, despite everything that's going on in the world. I wanted to be able to support brides however I could. The channel is currently on YouTube. I'm also posting it on social media, so if you're on Instagram or Facebook, I'm also posting them there. I'm even going to be trying out Pinterest and TikTok, seeing where else I can put content to help brides and reach as many people as possible. So now there's probably a few other things that you should know about me. Professionally, I'm very type A. I have a get it done attitude. If you've ever worked with me, you know that no detail gets left behind. I'm kind of a perfectionist, sometimes, mainly, most of the time, to a fault, but that really helps in wedding planning because I think of everything. And you really need someone like that on your team to make sure that you catch everything because there are so many details that go into planning a wedding. My goal is to make couples' lives easier, and that also means making the vendors' lives easier because at the end of the day, your vendor team is making your day happen. And if your vendor team is working really well together, that's usually going to mean a smoother, better day for you. So my goal is to make the wedding planning process as smooth as possible and make sure that the day goes as smooth as possible for both the vendors and the couple. Personally, I have a husband, Nick. We eloped actually in 2020, so I was supposed to get married with my big wedding in 2020, but due to the pandemic, I did decide to postpone to 2021 now this year, and we did elope, so I was able to have that experience, which was super awesome. I highly recommend it. And I have an adorable puppy, Cooper. I have a beautiful older cat, Thea. They may or may not decide to make some appearance in my videos, so if you check those out, you'll probably see them. I'm a pretty big dork, so my husband makes fun of me all the time. I'm usually the one laughing at my own jokes. I think I'm really funny, and most people don't. At least I don't think that they do. I love wine. I love games. I'm a sucker for board games. Monopoly. Oh, I love Monopoly, and I will fight you and take you down in Monopoly, although I always lose, but I still love to play for whatever reason. And I love just having fun. It's hard in a pandemic, but I guess I've really clung to my Netflix and binge watching television shows. Feel free to drop any recommendations in the comments. I love seeing all the must-see shows and love hearing what other people are watching, because I can always use another show to binge. So that's a little bit about me. So if you want to stay in touch with all things weddings, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out new content every week, and I can't wait to share more wedding tips, tricks, and advice with you guys. Until next time, happy wedding planning.